The city clerk in Sarasota now the focus of an investigation. Why city officials say the probe is necessary. Breaking news in the search for a missing college student in Iowa, the grim discovery there. And another county on the Suncoast takes a proactive step to recover from red tide. Your Suncoast News starts now.
You're watching ABC 7 News at noon.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us. Topping our news today at noon, Sarasota City Commissioners vote to spend up to $35,000 to hire an outside investigator to look into the city clerk and auditor. Pamela Natalini has been the subject of a series of poor evaluations and accusations of creating a hostile work environment. ABC 7's Ray Collins has reaction from Natalini. Ray?
Scott, commissioners say an outside investigator is needed to remove any hint of bias, but despite that effort and cost, Natalini says she will not cooperate. She's accused of harassing managers and being difficult to work with. Last year, she received 22 negative evaluations from employees, accusing her of creating a hostile work environment. Sources say she and city manager Tom Barwin hardly speak, if at all. Here's what Natalini told the city attorney Robert Fournier after the city voted early this morning for a third-party investigator.
I just want to put on the record, Bob, I will not be interviewed regarding this process due to the way much of this has been handled and played in the media, so that I can make sure that, you know, I am definitely governed. I have a lot of concerns with how commissioners have definitely played this in the media, as well as various city employees.
We asked her for an interview before and after last night's meeting, but she declined to both me and later to one of my colleagues. So what's next? Mayor Liz Albert told me she wants the investigator to interview Natalini's staff and give commission a report as soon as possible. Scott?
All right, Ray, thank you. New at noon, the results of an independent investigation into a new planning system in Manatee County schools. The investigation into the third-party vendor that installed the Enterprise Resource Planning System finds the company did not complete the job. The system went live on July 1st and handles hiring, securing contracts, paying bills, and other basic functions. But Interim Superintendent Cynthia Saunders says there have been nothing but complications with that system. After receiving the report from the independent investigation, Saunders says she cannot support a contract extension with the software company until it completes the job. New drug charges against a Sarasota man who was arrested last month on meth and cocaine possession charges. Sarasota police charging 38-year-old Michael Peterson with possession of bath salts. Peterson was arrested in July, and this month detectives received lab results on the meth showing it contained the drug known as bath salts. Peterson bonded out of jail after he was booked on these new drug charges. Now to breaking news in Iowa, where investigators working on the Molly Tibbets missing person case say they have recovered a body and are now working to confirm its identity. The 20-year-old woman disappeared more than a month ago after she left home for a run. ABC's Elizabeth Herr explains where the investigation now stands.
A tireless search for a missing college student in Iowa potentially coming to a tragic end with the discovery of a body. Authorities for now only confirming a body was located and say they are now working to make a positive ID. Molly Tibbets, the 20-year-old University of Iowa student, vanished on July 18th, last seen going for a run in Brooklyn, Iowa. When she did not show up for work the next day, her coworkers got worried and reported her missing. At the time, she was living with her boyfriend, but police said he was not a suspect.
Just try to put yourself in our shoes. What if somebody had taken somebody that you love so much, and just have the courage to come forward?
We're all in this together. We're all trying to bring Molly back.
For weeks, police remained tight-lipped about the investigation while family, friends, and strangers searched desperately, hoping for her safe return. The reward in this case broke local records, reaching nearly $400,000. And today, when reached for comment, Molly's father said no comment. Elizabeth Herr, ABC News, New York.
As soon as we received confirmation about the breaking news in Iowa, we alerted our ABC 7 viewers through a push notification earlier this morning. If you want to get the latest breaking news across the world and here on the Suncoast, as well as your forecast, you can download our apps. Find it in your app store under WWSB or My Suncoast. Let's get more on our forecast for today with meteorologist John Scalzi. And so far, so good, I guess, today?
Yep. First alert weather app would be good to have today. I used it yesterday because of the showers and thunderstorms that were around.
Right.
Mostly east of the interstate, but nevertheless, you know, when you saw them going off to the west, you kind of knew they were going to go off to the west, and so just verified that on the app. Today, I think the motion might be a little bit more random, so it's good to have that app handy.
Anywhere then, yeah.
The chances of seeing a few more showers closer to the coast exists today, though it's still not a very high chance. Most of the stuff will be east of the interstate, but they might have a couple of more closer by. Clouds beginning to build in inland areas. I think the showers and thunderstorms will follow later in the day. You're starting to see some of the showers that are out in Gulf waters start to kind of mix away, and that's kind of what happened yesterday, actually, as the sea breeze circulation begins to develop. That land breeze that produced those showers starts to decrease, and so consequently over the next hour or two maybe we'll see a shower close to the coastline, but it's really during the later half of the afternoon into the evening hours when those showers build inland in response to the daytime heating. Already we're getting close to that 90-degree mark. 87 degrees in inland locations, 88 closer to the coastline. I think as we head into the afternoon, a good 30% chance of showers will be in the forecast for particularly areas east of the interstate. We'll go with probably about 91 or 2 for a daytime high. We'll call it 90 by 3 p.m. And then as we head into the afternoon, those showers will start to dissipate a little bit later in the evening, and I think by midnight we'll be left again with partly cloudy to mostly clear skies by the time you wake up tomorrow morning. We'll have the complete forecast for you coming up in just a few minutes here, Scott.
Well, a group of protesters in Venice hoping to stop the plan to build a hospital in their neighborhood. Sarasota County Planning Commissioners have already approved the rezoning project, but some people who live in that area say they do not want 50 acres of land on East Venice Avenue rezoned from residential to commercial. So a new Venice Regional Bayfront Health Hospital can be built on that property. Some of the group's biggest concerns: traffic, safety, and drainage issues. The current road would have to be widened to add more lanes.
This doesn't make any sense on so many levels. It's just silly and stupid.
I mean, it's devastating. Like, we've started looking at houses if this goes through. Like, we don't want to be here. It's not, what they're doing is not right.
So far, more than 1,000 people have signed a petition against the rezoning. Sarasota County Commission will talk about the request next Tuesday. Just a few hours ago, Manatee County commissioners declaring a local state of emergency due to the red tide situation. That declaration will now allow county officials to pay overtime to staff and make special purchases to deal with the red tide problem. State of emergency will be in effect until August 28th, but it could be extended. Manatee County is looking for volunteers to help clean up the dead fish from red tide. The county is hosting 2 cleanup events this week. The first will be held tomorrow at the south side of Palmasola Causeway. The second will take place Thursday at Perico Preserve. Both events begin at 7:30 in the morning. Cleanup materials will be provided, but wear clothes you don't mind getting a little wet. Still to come in your Suncoast News, more than 24 lawsuits against Disney theme parks. What the upset visitors say needs to change. But first, a dog walk turns deadly. What wildlife experts are saying about the alligator attack, coming up.
Hi, I'm Janelle Hale, founder and CEO of the National Breast Cancer Foundation. No one should face breast cancer alone. When I was diagnosed 36 years ago, there was no internet, and I had to make a decision with little information. Early detection saved my life. It could save yours too. To learn what every woman needs to know about breast cancer, visit nbcf.org/hope.
There's nothing like this trail in Alabama. It just goes from the northern part of the state to the southern part of the state. We see all kind of different terrains, great value, great fun. We've been coming for 18 years. We started off with a group of 8, grew to 12, and grew to 16. And we love it because where else can you get world-class golf courses with world-class accommodations? To be able to play these type of courses in this environment, and the difficulty keeps us coming back over and over and over again.
Another pair of satisfied emotions. Looks to me like elation and maybe some amazement. It's part of the Honda Summer Spectacular event experience. You could say satisfaction comes standard here, just like the Honda Accord comes standard with a luxurious, roomy interior. All at the Honda Summer Spectacular event.
We see it all the time.
Visit your local Honda dealer and test drive the Honda Accord, 2018's North American Car of the Year.
Did you know that a dirty Cpap system could make you sick? If you knew what could be growing in your mask and hose, it would keep you up at night. Now, SoClean.com has released the world's first automated hands-free Cpap cleaner and sanitizer. With its patented design, SoClean is fast, effective, and hands-free, killing 99.9% of all Cpap germs and bacteria. Try SoClean now through this special TV offer, risk-free for 30 days. Just call 800-604-0398.
The SoClean works, and it's a really effective product, and I couldn't believe how easy it was to use.
SoClean works on all popular Cpap machines and masks, destroying Cpap germs and bacteria without the daily hassle of washing your system by hand. Just place your mask in, close the lid, and walk away. Voila! Sanitized and ready to use. Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. This is a limited-time offer. Call now, 800-604-0398. Or visit SoClean.com today.
I'm Deshauna Barber. In 2016, I was proud to win the title of Miss USA. What makes me just as proud is my service in the U.S. military. In the service, a soldier gains skills and learns values like discipline and leadership. That makes them an asset to any business that hires them. If you're an employer, on behalf of Coalition to Salute America's Heroes, remember to hire smart and bet on a vet. Visit saluteheroes.org or call this number to learn more.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Hot, somewhat humid day outside. We're watching the dew points continue to rise. They're at 88, the air temperature, and a dew point now at 75. So you add those two things together and you get a feels like temperature, what it actually, the air actually feels like as opposed to what it is. At 98 degrees is the heat index. So a southwest wind has developed, and that's the beginnings of our sea breeze front. That sea breeze circulation, I think, is going to continue through the remainder of the afternoon. We'll put the rain chance at about 30%. That's some slightly drier air worked in. The center of the high pressure ridge that brings us that easterly wind that we've had all morning long has now scooted a little bit further south, so it's more sort of directly over us. That also aids in reducing our rain chance a little bit. Yesterday we had a 40% chance. Today I put it at 30%. As we head into the evening hours, the rain chance at about 7 p.m. will be about 30 as well, but then it'll drop off fairly rapidly after that as we head into the overnight hours. So Titan radar not picking up a whole lot of action right now out in Gulf waters. Things are kind of dying down just a little bit as that southwest wind starts to kick in. We don't have anything over land currently, and I think maybe over the course of the next hour or two we might see one or two lone areas of light showers or maybe a thunderstorm pop up here along the coastline, but we'll most likely hear thunder as we head into about 3, 4, 5 o'clock tonight as we start to see better conversion of winds. We're watching this general easterly flow around an area of high pressure, a southeasterly flow, continue on across the state of Florida throughout the afternoon. But locally, with the heating of the day, we started to develop this little westerly wind, southwesterly wind. That's our sea breeze. And where those two winds kind of collide together is where we get our showers building, and that'll be mostly in inland areas. But because the flow is rather light with this high pressure ridge basically over us, we can get outflow from these storms that cause other storms to pop up almost anywhere across the area. So motion is going to be kind of random in terms of where these storms build a little bit later on. High pressure will sink to our south over the course of the next 24 hours. And as that happens, our winds switch from east to south and then eventually to west. And what that will do will be to change the pattern of our storms. Instead of getting these late afternoon storms that build mostly in and some of them drift back to the coast, we're going to see the westerly wind take the showers that have been on our coast and push them over to the other coast. And that's where the showers will be. And we'll start off the mornings with a chance at some rainfall, but then by afternoons we end up kind of dry. And that tends to promote some warmer temperatures if you don't have any showers during the heat of the day. Mostly sunny skies, late afternoon storms again today. And hey, it's calm in the tropics, which is a nice thing. This time of year, it's rare to see the tropics perfectly calm, but that's certainly what we still have today. Rainfall Futurecast shows most of the heaviest of the rain falling in inland sections. Not to say that we won't see a thunderstorm or two pop up closer to the coast, but the majority of the heavy, larger cells will be inland again today. The Futurecast shows what I'm talking about. Watch as we put it into motion. We'll go till about 3 o'clock. You'll see maybe a storm pop up along Tampa Bay or maybe along Charlotte Harbor, along the coastline. And then everything certainly moves inland and the bigger storms start to populate the area where the sea breeze front has moved inland. Then as we move into the evening hours, we'll start to watch all those storms kind of dissipate away, leaving us with a pretty quiet overnight. So the forecast looks like this for boaters today. Southeast wind switching to the southwest as it's doing now at about 10 knots. I'll give you 2-foot seas and a light chop. Pretty nice out there, actually, on the waters. About a 30% chance of showers today. Tomorrow, maybe 20% as we start to shift those winds around just a little bit and we get a little bit drier air in place. And then on Thursday and Friday, the winds have shifted. We get morning showers near the coast. We get inland showers later in the day. Most of the day is spent dry. Temperatures will start to go up a little. And then Saturday and Sunday, we shift the winds right back to an easterly direction with those afternoon thunderstorms. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. In Health Smart, the decision to go vegan. The popular diet are nothing new, but how healthy are they in the long term? Kim Hutcherson takes a look.
Chances are you know someone who is vegan, who neither eats nor uses animal products. Many people experience benefits from this style of eating, which could be part of the reason the number of faithful vegans is on the rise. In the UK alone, there's been a 350% increase in veganism since 2008. The plant-based diet that shuns meat and dairy can have a positive impact on your health if done properly. Within the first few weeks, new vegans usually notice an energy boost. As long as you're staying away from processed foods and carbs, your gut health can improve too. After several months, that decrease in processed foods has been credited with clearing up acne. On the downside, the vitamin D you've stored from consuming meat is being depleted. Make sure to counteract this by taking vitamin D supplements, especially in winter. And finally, for those who decide to be vegan permanently, remember to consume foods rich in calcium or take supplements. This will keep your bones strong as you get older. For today's Health Minute, I'm Kim Hutcherson.
Well, let's keep talking about food. Let's go head over to the kitchen where Chef Pedro Flores joins us today from Philippi Creek Oyster Bar in Sarasota. Pedro, great to see you back in our kitchen today. What's for lunch?
I'll be making a beautiful Miso Grouper over garden salad.
Ooh, sounds good.
You want a Maserati, but you need an SUV. Why not have both? Levante, the Maserati of SUVs.
Experience it at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota. The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to mesobook.com.
We've been fighting the war on drugs for a long time. We answer the phone 24/7, 365 days a year. On a busy night, we answer hundreds of calls. This war on drugs needs our intervention.
Since 2014, Addiction Hope and Helpline has helped people struggling with drugs and alcohol.
When the phone rings, we help people when they need it the most. When we get a caller into treatment, it feels right. It feels good. It's a blessing.
If you're struggling, drinking, using, and need to get clean, don't suffer alone in silence. Call Addiction Hope and Helpline.
Our people understand, and many are also in recovery. Call for support and strength. You can call for someone who can't or isn't willing. It's an act of love. Together we can help you beat this thing and erase addiction from your vocabulary once and for all.
Call 800-871-1644. 800-871-1644.
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwells at Einstein's and FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Coast Guard, we are taking on water.
The United States Coast Guard. They secure our ports and waterways, protect our environment, keep drugs away from our kids, and save lives. It's dangerous work. And in times of triumph or tragedy, the Coast Guard Foundation answers the call to support Coast Guard members and their families. Learn more at coastguardfoundation.org.
Now to a fatal alligator attack in South Carolina. A woman was walking her dog near a creek when the gator went after the dog. The woman then tried to protect her pet and paid for it with her life. ABC's Victor Oquendo has the latest from Hilton Head.
A dog walk turned deadly. A woman on Hilton Head Island, South Carolina, killed after being attacked by an alligator Monday.
Well, it's a very rare occurrence, one that we hope we will not witness again.
Officials say the victim, 45-year-old Cassandra Klein, was walking her dog near a lagoon known to be populated with gators when an 8-foot alligator tried to attack the animal. Klein tried protecting her pet when the alligator turned on her, dragging her underwater.
If he sees a small dog or anything that the alligator thinks it can get and it's hungry by the side of the water, it's going to come out there faster than you can react.
Signs throughout the upscale Sea Pines Resort community warning residents about alligators. A neighbor says he saw one earlier that morning near the site of the attack.
That was an 8-10-foot gator, and it stopped traffic. And I was like, man, you don't get to see that every morning.
Earlier this summer, a woman who was also walking her dogs in Florida was killed when a 12-foot alligator attacked. There are 5 million alligators across the southeast, but attacks on humans are not common. Still, experts warn to keep your distance, even in golfing communities like this one, where gators can be commonplace.
In that attack mode, in that short distance, that 10 to 15, 20 feet, they can overcome a human very quickly.
Experts say about 15 to 20 feet away from the water is a safe distance. This type of attack in South Carolina is very rare. This is just the second alligator-related death here in 42 years. Victor Oquendo, ABC News, Hilton Head, South Carolina.
All right, let's change gears and head over to the kitchen now. John is with our guest today, Chef Pedro from Philippi Creek Oyster Bar in Sarasota. John?
Chef Pedro, good to have you in the kitchen as thank always, you. sir.
Thank
I
you,
don't know
sir,
about
for
you,
having
but
me.
I think a safe distance from an alligator is one that requires binoculars, don't you?
Yeah, I go with a grouper.
Oh, that is one beautiful fish you got there.
Yeah, it's a beautiful grouper from Trinidad, Tobago.
Oh.
And it's a yellow edge because you can see the color. It's a beautiful color.
Oh, yeah.
And that's exactly what we get in a grouper right now.
Okay.
You know, we're not getting it for the coast, for no means.
Right.
So we're safe to eat at Philippi Creek.
Good stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
I know, safety, food safety is always a primary consideration.
So I have a beautiful miso grouper, which it says mirin, sake, brown sugar, olive oil, and miso is a soybean paste. So you just mix it all together, and then you become like this, and this is liquidy.
So it's kind of an Asian flavor.
It is an Asian flavor. Yeah. And then you let it sit and you refrigerate it for 24 hours.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's
and then,
just marinating for 24.
Yes. Okay. And then you put little olive oil.
You are using a hot pan there.
Oh yeah, you have to because because you want to get the glaze and the alcohol out of the fish a little bit.
Okay.
And then the beauty about this is you just sear it both sides, and then you get a beautiful color, and it's gonna get caramelized on both sides. And then you put them in the oven for 400 degrees for 10 minutes, and it will be ready.
Because that mirin has alcohol in it, right?
Yes.
That's a wine, basically, a sweet wine. And does that have sugars in it too?
Yes,
I guess
it has sugar. Look at that.
That's going to help make it that beautiful brown color.
Yeah, there we go. See, let me show you the finished product.
Okay.
Over here.
So what temperature oven are you putting that into?
400 degrees.
400, hot oven.
400 degrees. And then look at this beautiful finished product over here.
That's what I'm talking about.
There you go.
Check that out.
And then what we have here, we have some arugula, spinach, apples.
Shall I do the honors here as you talk?
Carrots.
Okay, so
and then
arugula,
all
spinach.
the toppings in there, yes.
And this is jicama? Is that what is that?
That's chayote squash. It's indigenous to the Caribbean.
Okay.
That's a cucumber.
Cucumber. Ooh, nice. Okay.
Apples.
Carrot. I got that part. I
yes.
got that. Okay. And we've got, what is that?
That's apples.
Apples. Oh,
and then you got your
kind of a
green
Granny
and
Smith
red
there,
onions
apple,
right there.
yeah, some red onion.
Yeah, your cilantro too.
And these are
some of the radishes. You want to put
do you
some
want the
radishes?
liquid in there too?
No liquid. Just
okay, no liquid. All right. The liquid is what? Just to keep them from turning color?
Yes.
Oh,
and then the
okay.
cilantro.
Cilantro. I love cilantro. Now,
And
some
then-
people don't like cilantro. Some people find it
Well, you don't have to
kind of
put it-
soapy in their flavor. So I guess you could use substitute if you have one of those rare
Yeah,
kind of
you
things.
can use
or
parsley,
something?
Italian
Yeah.
parsley, regular parsley.
Right.
And then we have a ginger, lemon vinaigrette. You can toss it up, put it over here on the plate.
Okay.
And this is a very, very healthy salad.
Man. We were just talking earlier about healthy options, and I tell you what, this meal today, this is a healthy option.
Oh, yes. And this is a very delicate, light. You eat it for lunch. You can eat it for dinner. You know, it doesn't
And
get
just
better
right
than
on
that.
there?
Right in there. So the way you like it. There you go.
How about that, huh?
I love it. I love it. Perfect.
Yeah.
And then you see the beautiful grouper on top. You put the color. You see the beautiful color?
Oh, look at that. That's
Look at that.
gorgeous. That's really gorgeous, Pedro.
Doesn't get better than that.
Oh, man. That is a good meal. And folks, the recipe for it is available on our website, mysuncoast.com. Easy, you can fix it at home. However, if you'd like to have it fixed for you with a beautiful setting, I highly recommend going to the Table Creek side.
Thank
Chef
you,
Pedro
sir.
cooking
Thank you
up
for having us here.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. Pass me a fork.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do it yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Excuse me a minute. Hi, Dad. No, don't try to get up.
Hi, I'm Julie, a right-at-home caregiver. And if I'd been caring for Tom's dad, I would have noticed some dizziness that could lead to balance issues. That's because I'm trained to report any changes in behavior, no matter how small. So Tom could have peace of mind.
We'll be right there. We have to go.
Hey, Tom, you should try Right at Home. They're great for us.
The right care, right at home.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call. TrueStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
And even if you're on a fixed income, prices fit your budget, starting at less than 32 cents a day. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease. And with no medical tests or health questions, you cannot be turned down for any reason. Call 1-800-842-7189. Now, for a free, no-obligation quote, TrueStage offers plans to fit your budget. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage. Call 1-800-842-7189 now.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Good kisses. Good kisses.
You heard how
loud that was.
I heard. It wasn't you. It was the...
Is that bacon? You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Once you get atrial fibrillation, you need to have a very close relationship with your primary doctor. Prevention is the whole ball game here, because once you have a stroke, you can't undo it. A year without stroke, it's a year that you can enjoy doing the things that you've worked all your life to finally get to do. You took care of yourself. You did what is necessary for you to be around one more year. And then next year, we'll celebrate one more year without a stroke.
Coming up, the shocking claim from a Colorado man accused of murdering his pregnant wife and 2 little girls. Plus, on the night before classes are set to begin at the University of North Carolina, protesters topple a Confederate statue. And Sarasota police warn about 2 phone scams where callers are pretending to be police officers.
You're watching ABC 7 News at 12:30.
Welcome back. Right now we're monitoring breaking news out of New Jersey. This is a live look at Teterboro Airport, where emergency crews are getting ready for a plane to land there. That plane apparently blew out its tires during takeoff at the airport. The plane is now circling the airport before it tries to land, likely trying to burn off some fuel. ABC TV station in that area is reporting 16 people are on board. It's a Gulfstream 4, which is a jet flown mainly for private and business use. We'll keep you up to date on what happens there. A bizarre twist in a triple murder case in Colorado. Police say the man accused of killing his pregnant wife and 2 young daughters now allegedly claims he walked in on his wife strangling their 2 children. ABC's Clayton Sandell explains what he told investigators.
This absolutely tragic story of the murder of Shanann Watts and her 2 small daughters, Celeste and Bella, has taken a bizarre turn here in that the suspect in the case, Shanann's husband, Chris Watts, now says that Shanann was the one who killed their 2 daughters. According to a police affidavit, Chris Watts admits that on the morning that Shanann Watts came home from a business trip, they had a heated discussion about Chris wanting to separate. He says that he went downstairs, then came back upstairs, walked in essentially on his wife, strangling their 2 daughters. He says then in a fit of rage, he killed his wife Shanann and took all 3 of the bodies, loading them into his work truck here and then driving them to oil company property where he tried to conceal the bodies. Prosecutors have not said whether that story is credible. Clayton Sandell, ABC News, Frederick, Colorado.
An empty concrete base is all that's left of a former Confederate statue in North Carolina. Protesters tore down the Silent Sam statue last night as others in the crowd cheered. It had been on the University of North Carolina's Chapel Hill campus for more than 100 years. Silent Sam was a gift from the United Daughters of the Confederacy in 1909. UNC's Department of History had previously taken a stance against the statue's location on campus, saying it promoted, quote, malicious values that had persisted too long on this campus, in this state, and in this nation. A day before classes were set to begin at UNC Chapel Hill, protesters took matters into their own hands and pulled that statue down. Wildlife experts say red tide is a big contributing factor to the high number of manatee deaths so far this year. The Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission reporting there have been more manatee deaths so far this year than all of last year. 540 manatees have died this year compared to 538 in all of 2017. Experts are blaming a cold snap at the beginning of the year and the red tide outbreak for the deaths. In fact, FWC says nearly 100 of those deaths are directly linked to the toxic bloom. There's some positive news about our marine life. Wildlife officials say the scallop population is rebounding following a bout of red tide off the Florida Panhandle. The adult population of St. Joseph Bay scallops was recently surveyed by FWC, and it shows the population is nearly 4 times what it was last year. However, the scallop population still is vulnerable. You can check out all of our coverage of the red tide outbreak by going to our website. Go online to mysuncoast.com/red tide. Let's check now with meteorologist John Scalzi. We always are watching those winds when we're dealing with something like this, and are we still getting the onshore winds for today?
Yeah, well, we're getting the West Coast sea breeze now at this point. So for the next 4 or 5 hours, we're going to be getting a west wind. But it has been consistently blowing out of the east. Kind of environmental flow has been out of the east. That's about to change. Coming in out of the west now. So you know, winds are important in terms of which way those toxins blow. It doesn't do much in terms of the actual red tide concentrations in algae in the water. That's more of a tidal issue and freshwater dilution issue, but there are some signs that maybe things are changing down the road, so we'll see how it plays out. Hopefully it will. Casey Key webcam put into, by the way, we'll show you the latest Moat Marine spotter reports coming up in about 5 minutes here. Casey Key webcam put into motion shows a beautiful day out there. Look how calm the waters have been thus far. Just really nice, almost like glass in places. Now we're starting to build a little bit of a chop out there, but still just a gorgeous day for boating with the exception of that red tide. We have the showers way out in Gulf right now. All nearshore waters are pretty quiet and sunny and beautiful. Titan radar not showing anything over land. Still taking a little while for that to develop, but certainly temperatures are responding to the heating. Getting close to the 90 mark already. Most places in the upper 80s, 89, 88, pretty popular numbers across the Sun Coast. And the rain chance today at about 30%. We'll have that red tide information for you in just a few minutes. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. A developing story now involving new Russian hacking attempts ahead of the midterm elections. Microsoft says a hacking group tied to the Russian government created fake internet domains that appeared to spoof two American conservative organizations. 3 other fake domains were designed to look as if they belonged to the U.S. Senate. The revelation comes just weeks after a similar Microsoft discovery led Senator Claire McCaskill, a Missouri Democrat who is running for re-election, to reveal that Russian hackers tried unsuccessfully to infiltrate her computer network. Pope Francis will meet privately with victims of Catholic clergy sexual abuse when he visits Ireland this weekend. A Vatican spokesman says it's also possible that the pontiff will address the issue during a speech there. Earlier this month, a Pennsylvania grand jury report detailed decades of alleged sexual abuse by more than 300 predatory priests and then cover-ups by bishops. Yesterday, the Pope released a letter acknowledging with, quote, shame and repentance the Catholic Church's failure to act. The Pope says the Church is developing a zero-tolerance policy in abuse and cover-ups. A federal appeals court is giving the green light for visitors with autism to move forward with lawsuits against Disney theme parks. 30 lawsuits accuse Disney of not doing enough for guests with autism. Parents testified their children had meltdowns when they had to wait for rides or when their routines were disrupted. 2 years ago, a district court in Florida ruled Disney was accommodating autistic visitors and dismissed the claims. But now with this appeals court ruling, plaintiffs can proceed in a lower court. Sarasota Police Department is warning you to be extra cautious following a string of phone scams. Police say they are investigating one scam where the caller claims to be a detective with SPD. The scam artist says there's a warrant out for your arrest. A spokesperson for SPD says an officer will never call you asking for money or threatening to arrest you. Now, if you receive a phone call that you're unsure about, you should just hang up. An easy way to spot a scam is if you hear the caller say you've been specifically selected for an offer, won a valuable prize, or you have to make up your mind right away. Another thing to look out for, what time you receive that call.
The hours that telemarketers should be calling you is only between 8 a.m. and 9 p.m. And so if you receive a call, especially outside of those hours, that's another red flag that it can be a scammer. Just do due diligence, you know. If it doesn't seem right, it probably isn't. Go ahead and hang up, make a complaint with the Federal Trade Commission. You can do that as well. Get on the do not call list.
Remember, you should never give out your name and personal information. And if you send money to a scammer, it's hard for detectives to track down the source. Still to come in your Suncoast News, new computers from Apple. Plus, another airline increasing prices. What service will soon cost more on Southwest?
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Get more for your money during the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Sunset Subaru. Subaru vehicles hold their value better than any other brand for 2018, according to ALG. And Subaru is Kelley Blue Book's most trusted brand for 4 years running. The Subaru Forester is an IIHS top safety pick for 12 years running. Now, lease a new Subaru Forester for just $229 a month or get 0% financing with zero down. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to Mesobook.com.
Stay connected to your clients and new customers using ABC7 Digital Media Services. Our team of professionals provide a wide array of digital services to help you get the most out of your website. We specialize in building and helping you maintain the most effective digital solutions for your business. It's vital that your online presence stands out, so our experts will equip you with the best resources available. Trust ABC7 Digital Media Services to give you the right tools to grow your business.
Ready to open up new opportunities as an electrician? Don't do it yourself. Team up with Mr. Sparky instead. We're locally owned and looking for people like you. We offer our electricians great perks that you just won't get going it alone. And whether you're an apprentice, a master electrician, or somewhere in between, we have a spot for you.
Best decision I ever made.
Apply online or call today.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Now your ABC7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
88 degrees the air temperature. We have a dew point value coming in at 75. Southwest wind continues to blow at a heat index at 98. So that southwest wind, the beginning of a sea breeze that'll carry on throughout the afternoon, boosting our rain chances to about 30%. A few thunderstorms thrown into that mix. We'll have a few showers near the coast, but the majority of this is going to fall inland along the sea breeze front, along the interstate corridor. And then as the sun begins to wane, we'll get rid of those shower chances during the overnight, leading to mostly clear skies. So radar showing kind of persistent spots of rain and drizzle and showers out in Gulf waters in the process of kind of falling apart near shore right now as that sea breeze circulation starts to build. You can almost make out exactly where the sea breeze circulation starts by the absence of the showers out in the Gulf. And that will continue on through the next 4 or 5 hours. It'll produce the showers along the coastline. Right now everything's pretty quiet, but that is going to change. High pressure, the dominant weather feature, being nudged southward by this trough of low pressure located just to the north. That's going to be a major factor in the timing and location of our showers as we head through the day. A southeasterly wind is going to turn more increasingly south with time. And while we see showers and thunderstorms today building on the combination of the collision of these sea breeze fronts and this general easterly wind flow, tomorrow we're going to see more of a westerly flow that'll push a lot of that shower activity toward the coastline. So mostly sunny skies, late afternoon storms, but still calm in the tropics. Okay, here are the latest spotter reports from Mote Marine observers this morning. And there's some encouraging news if you're itching to get out to the beach. We have a couple of beaches certainly showing low amounts of red tide irritant in the air. And we have one, I haven't seen this in a while, Venice coming in with no reports of red tide irritant in the air. So that's nice. It really depends on which way the wind is blowing and the conditions of the day and where the algae has drifted. Siesta Key still reporting intense amounts, Lido moderate amounts. But I tell you what, in these restaurants along the coastline, once you get inside, it's hard to smell the red tide. So, let's try to support these folks while they're getting this kind of bout of red tide along the coastline. They certainly, these restaurants out there do need our support. So let's go out there and try to have a bite or two at their restaurants. We're looking at some pretty quiet conditions in the Atlantic and in the Caribbean, in the Gulf waters, the near Caribbean. Everything's quiet, hardly a cloud in the sky. I tell you what, that's pretty unusual for this time of year. Combination of high pressure, dry air, and dust, and also some cooler water temperatures. So all of that combining to produce pretty tranquil conditions right now. The southeast wind switches to the southwest throughout the afternoon and evening, then turns south during the overnight. 2-foot seas, light chop. Nice day for boating. Water temperature now 90. So it's getting warmer near the shelf waters anyway. And then over the course of the next couple of days, we'll keep our rain chance at 20 to 30%, maybe a little less tomorrow because of some slightly drier air and also that high pressure ridge sinking southward. It'll be kind of light and variable winds tomorrow. And then we head into Thursday and Friday, and we'll watch those winds shift around to the west. That'll bring us those morning showers near the coast, maybe an overnight pop of thunder or two. And then the showers move inland during the heat of the day, leaving us with some warmer temperatures, no doubt. On Saturday and Sunday, we'll watch those winds again switch around to a more easterly flow, favoring afternoon showers and thunderstorms, and that'll hold true for the beginning of next work week, too. Scott?
John, thank you. In consumer news, the ups and downs of Tesla now have some of its suppliers worried. According to the Wall Street Journal, some small suppliers are claiming they have not been paid for services supplied to Tesla. Others say the car maker has been trying to stretch out payments or asking for cash back. Concerns surrounding Tesla's financial strength have grown after production of the more affordable Model 3 car drained some of its cash. Apple may be planning to roll out a pair of new computers later this year. Bloomberg reports they include a new low-cost laptop that'll look similar to the current MacBook Air, but it will have a higher resolution screen. Apple will also likely unveil an upgrade to the Mac Mini desktop. The Mac has been a steady seller, accounting for more than 11% of Apple's sales in the last fiscal year. But some loyal users complain that recent updates do not meet their professional needs. Southwest is raising the price for its early bird check-in on some flights. It will go from a flat $15 a person each way to $15, $20, or even $25, depending on the length of your flight and the popularity of the early bird check-in on that route. Southwest started the early bird service back in 2009, and initially it cost just $10. The new pricing will start August 29th. Now to a shifting trend. Americans of all ages are changing what they choose to invest their money in. Mary Maloney tells us what millennials prefer.
Cold, hard cash. According to a new Bankrate poll, that's what the millennial generation prefers.
We don't know, number one, that millennials, quote unquote, hate stocks, but we think there are several reasons why they prefer cash.
The study looked at where different generations of Americans plan to invest their retirement savings. With rising housing costs and record high student loans, experts say the unpredictability of stocks can be concerning for the younger generations.
And I can understand how a young person might be thinking that they need to save for an emergency, that eventually they might want to purchase a home, and they don't want to expose that money to the possibility of a downturn in the stock market.
Americans between the ages of 22 and 37 are considered to be millennials. According to the study, 30% of them say they would prefer investing in cash and accumulating interest. That is the highest percentage of any of the age groups surveyed. The poll found every older generation thinks the stock market is the best place for the money long term, with nearly 40% of baby boomers trusting in Wall Street. Despite the uncertainty of the stock market, most experts say that's where your money should go.
For those who are looking at long-term investing, we really should have some exposure to the stock market because cash cannot keep up with inflation.
I'm Mary Maloney.
Well, it's been called a work of humor, humility, and grace. John joins us now with more on the Urbanite Theater's production of Wakey Wakey. John?
Thank you, Scott. Starring in the show is our guest today, James Fitzgerald. Thanks for coming in today, James. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
You know, it's so first of all, I know this is your first show at the Urbanite and in our area, so welcome to the arts capital of Florida.
It certainly is. It's
a pretty amazing place.
It's pretty amazing. Yeah. It's pretty amazing. The audiences are quite amazing. They're so sharp.
We're an educated
and dedicated.
Group. We are. The audience in the Suncoast has been around the block a few times.
Yeah.
So this show is a short running time. It's actually a 70-minute running time.
Roughly.
So no intermission.
No intermission.
So you get all of your theater in an intense bundle there. I like those kind of shows. I saw one in New York that was like that a couple weeks ago, and I really enjoy that. I enjoy no intermission shows.
I think that's the new trend. I think you get your shotgun blast, and you're done, and you get an extra hour to think about it. So
yeah.
You're not stuck in a theater for 3 hours.
Yeah, and you get a complete through thought through that entire period. So you don't have time to kind of lose the flow. You're kept in the zen all through the show. There,
absolutely.
Right? So tell us about this show. What's it about?
What's it about? I don't want to give too much away. It's my character Guy, who's a guy, is hosting an event, and the event is his life, or.
So he's an older fellow, right? In this play. Kind of, can we say, waiting for death, I guess we could say?
A little bit. He's kind of.
Certainly in his twilight years.
Hosting his own wake.
Which, that's interesting.
If we could all do that, we'd probably live much nicer lives.
Yeah, that's interesting. I would think that you have to face a lot of things in that situation.
You do,
as a human being.
But the author, Will Eno, New York playwright, who's very, very popular.
Very great young voice, yeah.
Yes, he's writing in a style that no one's ever written before. It's deceptively complex, but very funny, and absurdly funny.
Yeah.
You know, and he deals with some tough things, but in a very kind of light way.
So a lot of fun in this show, but there's also a lot of pith too. There's some deep topics that are taken on.
There's some deep topics, yes. Well, like anyone's life is.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's life is deep.
One person characterized the kind of concept of the play is that we all take different paths to get to that same place at the end there.
Pretty much. Yeah. It's that thing about death and taxes. You know, no one gets out of it alive.
And what's your first line in the play?
I thought I had more time.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. I guess we all do at the end, right?
That's pretty much what you think about.
Black Box Theater, the Urbanite, just a wonderful addition to our theater scene here in Florida, and certainly great because they have shows on during the summer, so that's nice. Welcome to Florida. Hope to see you back in the theaters here many, many more times.
I hope so too. Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming in. Scott?
John, thank you. Still to come in your Suncoast News, the king of pop dethroned. Which band was able to beat the long running Thriller record? Coming up next.
If you don't want to fall immediately into love, look away. If you don't want to awaken a desire for excellence, look away. If you don't want to be seduced, please look away.
Rediscover your passion for driving at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
The day you lose your strength is the day you lose your independence. Muscle is lost with age, affecting your energy, balance, and mobility. Before you know it, you're depending on others just to get through the day. But you can reverse and prevent muscle loss. Introducing MyoHealth, a revolutionary proven approach to increased muscle strength and function in as little as 30 days. Live life on your terms with more energy and confidence.
After a serious health issue put me down, MyoHealth's getting me back up again.
I'm doing activities that I haven't done for a long time. It really works.
MyoHealth is a safe, natural dietary supplement, the result of decades of research and 24 human clinical studies. You can live stronger at any age with greater strength, mobility, balance, and energy. Call or go online now and take the MyoHealth 30-Day Strength Challenge.
When it comes to drinking, what do you think moderation is? The U.S. Dietary Guidelines define moderation as up to 1 drink a day for women and up to 2 drinks a day for men. So what's a drink? The guidelines say a drink equals 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or a cocktail with 1.5 ounces of distilled spirits. Each contains the same amount of alcohol. Like to learn more? Visit drinkinmoderation.org.
Coming up later today on ABC 7 News at 4, Sarasota police asking for the public's help finding 3 suspects who are accused of using stolen credit cards. And the Trump administration wants to roll back another Obama-era initiative affecting the environment. We hope you'll join us this afternoon at 4 o'clock. In entertainment news, move over Michael Jackson. The Eagles have soared past Michael Jackson to earn the honor of best-selling album in history. The rock band's greatest hits, 1971, 1975, surpassed 38 million copies sold. Their greatest hits has been one of the top sellers since its initial release back in 1976. Before the Eagles, Michael Jackson's Thriller held the best-selling album record for more than 30 years, and it now sits at number 2, sandwiched by another Eagles hit record, and that's the band's Hotel California album, which sits at number 3. Fans of the Twilight series now have a chance to live in on one of the homes from those movies. This house served as the home for Bella Swan in the films. It's located in St. Helens, Oregon, and it's up for sale now. The owner opted to preserve the home's interior so it looks just like it did during filming. It's selling for $349,000. Fans of The Simpsons are going to love this. You can now shop at a real-life Quickie Mart in Myrtle Beach. It's a recreation of the convenience store from the iconic show. Visitors can munch on a heat lamp hot dog, chow down on lard lad donuts, and even slurp on real-life squishies. Oh! The store is the first full-service Quickie Mart and is attached to a Simpsons-themed Aztec theater, which will open later this year.
What are you doing, now?
Well, a daddy-daughter duo is melting hearts all over the internet. Brett Thompson's wife posted a video of the father surprising their two-year-old daughter, Phoenix. The little girl is at a children's cancer center in Atlanta fighting acute myeloid leukemia. When her first round of chemo wrapped up, her mom says a nurse came into Phoenix's room and dressed her in a yellow princess gown. The father then walked in wearing a suit, and surrounded by stuffed animals, the two danced to Tim McGraw's song, My Little Girl.
Oh, really?
Man.
Oh, my God. Oh,
yep.
Wow.
Straight to the heart. Wow.
Ring that bell, girl.
Yeah, definitely. Hope so.
Hope it all works out.
Yep, yep. What are we looking for today, John?
Well, we are looking for some sunshine, warm temperatures, and a chance at a shower or two. A little bit later on, running on the sea breeze front, mostly in inland areas. Daytime highs near 90. Tomorrow, kind of a transition day till we get to Thursday when the winds shift around to the west. Remember the west wind? We've had it most of the summer, it seems. Well, it's back for a couple of days anyway. That'll take showers, bring them to the coast in the morning, and then push them well inland later in the afternoon. That'll bump up our temperatures a few degrees for a couple of days, and then we'll start to see the east wind return once again.
Okay, back and forth.
Keep doing it.
Yeah, John, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope to see you again at 4 o'clock. Until then, have a great afternoon.